Have you taken the time to work on yourself? I mean, really work on yourself, right? We do these analysis for our businesses and other things in our lives, but how often do we take the time to stop and focus on who we are and where we are going? Well, today we're going to talk about that. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, succeeders. It's Stacey Barlow Hill, your leadership and lifestyle coach, helping you to become the best version of yourself and lead successfully. I am so excited to be here with you today for our Tuesday talk. Today's message came from, I actually started thinking over the weekend. Last year I joined the John Maxwell team. I became a certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the John C. Maxwell team. And this year I had the privilege of facilitating masterminds for the new coaches that were coming in. So it was such an honor to be able to do that, being that I've only been a part of the community for, even a year, but to be able to facilitate for a group of new coaches coming in and being able to give them the courage and the mindset to know that they can now, be effective coaches and be able to change people's lives and encourage others was such an amazing feeling. And the mastermind that we facilitated yesterday was from John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And we did chapter 2, which is the law of awareness. And John says the law of awareness is that you must know yourself to grow yourself. So basically, you need to know who you are and where you want to go in order to get to where you want to be. But there was something that stuck out to me in that chapter where he says that you have to know the following. And he asks if you know your strengths, your weaknesses, your interest, and your opportunities. And when I heard that, it made me think of like a SWOT analysis for your business. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I thought how funny. We do all of these plans for our business. We do SWOT analysis. We do growth charts and business plans and all this stuff. But what do we do for ourselves? Do we take inventory of who we are and what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what our interests are, what our opportunities are? Very often we don't. We don't start there anyway. Usually we start with the business plan. We start with the SWOT analysis of our business, right? But we don't start with who we are, because that makes all the difference. When we invest in our own personal growth and self-growth and personal development, that's going to translate into everything else that we do. And I preach this all the time because it's so important. Our personal growth is going to be a direct result of our success, right? So we can't ultimately reach real and lasting success until we've done the personal work. So I just wanted to spend a little time today showing you, this is a traditional SWOT analysis, and this comes from WordStream website. But so when you are analyzing your business, this is what a tool that is generally used for that. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I'm going to kind of just walk through it as we do for a business, but I want you to think about it in terms of your personal analysis as well as we go through it. So strengths, things your company does well. Personally, what do you do well? Qualities that separate you from your competitors. Yes, for your business, but what separates you from your competitors personally, especially if you're operating as a brand and as yourself. Internal resources such as skilled, knowledgeable staff, tangible assets such as intellectual property, capital, proprietary technologies, etc. Right? So listing all the strengths of the business, but thinking about it for yourself. What strengths do you have? Are you a good listener? Are you good with money? Are you talented? Are you creative? I mean, we all have some type of talent, but what is yours specifically? And I'm going to put the personal SWOT analysis down at the bottom. So it doesn't really spell out SWOT for the personal version, but you get what I'm trying to say here. So for weaknesses, the business side of it says things that your company lacks, things that your competitors do better than you. resource limitations, unclear, unique selling proposition. But what are your weaknesses? Where do you, and when we say weaknesses, it's not so much picking apart the things that we don't do well as it is finding areas for opportunities, right? So, what are our areas of opportunities? Can we read more? Can we be a little more humble? Can we be more empathetic? Can we, um, work on following through with our goals more? Like, what are your weaknesses? And that's not to highlight those and to dwell on those, but it's to see them as areas of opportunities, which is our next letter here, opportunities. So for the business world, it says undeserved markets for specific products, few competitors in your area, emerging need for your products or services, press media coverage for your company. But personally, what are your opportunities? What things can you work on? Where are there opportunities for you to grow and to learn and to be better and to do better? And then threats. So for your business, it would say emerging competitors, changing regularly environment, negative press and media coverage, changing customer attitudes towards your company. But John says in this analysis, he changes out threats for interest. So what are your interests? What do you like to do? What would you do for free? What are your passions? What drives you? What are you naturally talented and gifted at, right? So we want to think about those things today and really take inventory of yourself, because these things are going to help you with finding your place, right? Finding your passion, finding your purpose, finding where you belong, taking inventory of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your interests. And sometimes it's hard to do this, right? Sometimes you might need to ask those around you, because sometimes it may not be clear to you. We're usually really good at finding fault, right? We can find those weaknesses, right? And maybe those are areas of opportunity. But sometimes it's hard for us to know our strengths. We may not realize it's a strength. Sometimes we do things so well that we don't realize that it's a gift or a talent, right? So maybe ask some people around you, ask your friends and family, and ask them, what do you think I do well? What do you think I'm talented at? What do you think I'm gifted at? And there's all kind of online assessments where you can do spiritual gifts and see what your spiritual gifts are. But what are your natural talents? What are your natural skills? I know that there were things when I started my event planning company, I always loved to decorate and do things like that, but it really wasn't a job that people paid you to do 11 years ago. I started in an industry where it was very rare that I spent a lot of my time telling people what I did. They would say, "You do what?" And I'd say, "I decorate events for a living," and it just wasn't a thing. But I remember reading a Max Lucado book, and I cannot remember the title of it, but in that book, it was trying to help you find, your talents and your purpose, and discover, what your next steps may be. And at this time, I was a stay-at-home mom with my infant twin girls and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I had read this book, and I'm paraphrasing, but one of the phrases that said in there was basically like, what do you do that you do so well and you just wonder why everyone else isn't doing it, right? Like it just comes so naturally to you that you're just like, why would I do that? Because anybody can do that. But the fact is, anyone cannot do that. It's a gift that has been given to you. And it's a gift that God wants you to use, right? So when I read that, I was like, oh, wow, okay, maybe everyone doesn't like to decorate. Maybe everyone doesn't like to design. And it kind of confirmed my decision in starting my company. And I'm grateful for that, because I wouldn't have viewed it like that without reading that. So think about what it is that you do. What can you do that no one else does? What do you do better than anyone else? And not in a conceited way, but just something that you're gifted at, that it just shines through you. It just comes through you in all that you do. So John also says in this chapter that there's three kinds of people when it comes to finding direction. So when you're trying to find out which way you should go, he says that there's people who don't know what they would like to do. Those people are confused, right? So you may be confused. You don't know what it is that you want to do. You don't know what you like to do. You haven't taken this inventory of yourself yet. Then there's people who know what they want to do, but they don't do it for some reason. Whether you feel stuck, you don't feel like it's the right timing, something's just not right yet. But you know what it is that you want to do, but you don't do it. Those people are frustrated. And then there's the people who know what they want to do and they do it. And those people are fulfilled. And those are the types of people that you want to be. You want to be someone who is fulfilled. You want to be walking in your power and your purpose. And when you walk in alignment with that, your days are going to be so much better. You're going to smile. Your calendar may still be full, but it's going to be filled with purposeful work and work that is in with alignment with who you were created to be. So I want you to take that with you today. I want you to know that you were created for a reason, that you were created for a purpose. There is a power and purpose that is within you and waiting for you to discover and to become aligned with. So the law of awareness is you must know yourself to grow yourself. And you're going to go ahead and take inventory of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your interests, and take this analysis of yourself before you even work on your business. And most of us are already in business, so you've probably already done that, but we're going to take a step back and work on ourselves today. Take inventory of ourselves so that we can better our business. Our personal growth and development is going to be a direct result of our success down the road. So, all right, go do that today. I want you to like, subscribe, and share. If you are listening on the podcast, I want you to do the same. If you have not joined the Soul Circle yet, I want you to join that. This morning we had or yesterday morning, we had Monday mindset. I do that every Monday in the group where I give you a devotional and I just set the tone for your mindset and to have that mindset going into the week. So we do that. We had our first master class last week. We do a master class every month. We're going to have a guest speaker next week. So it's just an environment and a community where you can just stay encouraged, where you can work on your business and you can be encouraged on a weekly basis and around other like-minded individuals. So if you have not joined yet, I need you to join the Soul Circle and come join us. It is free for 30 days. And then it's only $25 a month after that. So come and join us. I hope to see you there, and I will see you all next week.